What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Why did I just say that? Welcome to my channel. If you guys don't know me, I'm Natalie Mason, and I usually don't do this shit. I really don't. But I thought for the first video we should talk about my eyebrows, cause look at these bitches. These bitches aren't cute. So I'm about to do like story time on these bitches, cause these are not cute. You see these? It's not cute. No. Okay. Anyways, so we about to go right into this shit. So I think it was like a few days ago, actually. Like, I want to say I've been talking about this for like 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. So like the other day, my eyebrows weren't like this. They were perfectly fucking fine. There was nothing wrong with my eyebrows. I was like living my best life. I was living my best life. Like, literally, I was fucking living my best life, my nigga. And next thing you know, my mom come up to me, she like, I got you an appointment. And I'm like, oh, okay, what is it? Like, tell me, what is the appointment? I'm like thinking it's a doctor's appointment. I'm like, okay, like, we about to get me checked up or whatever. And she's like, yeah, it's for your eyebrows. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, it's at 1 o'clock. Like, we're gonna go get your eyebrows done. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Cause, like, I didn't think they were gonna come out like this. I really didn't. I was like, okay, like, I'm down. Like, my eyebrows, like, I'm, like, hopefully they'll come out how I want them to come out. And I was like, okay, let's do this. Like, I'm so down. Let's do it. Next thing you know, fucking, I'm going, and it's getting closer to the time. And I'm like, do I want to do this? Like, do I really want to do this? Mess with my eyebrows. Let me tell you guys something. My eyebrows took a long time to grow out. Like, these bitches did not just grow out overnight. It took me damn near 3 years to get my eyebrows how I wanted them to be. Like, I wanted them to have like an arch so that when I drew them on, my eyebrows would look at least decent, you know, like those like tutorial girls on YouTube and shit. Like, I wanted my eyebrows to look like that. And they finally did. Like, no cap, like, they finally came out like that. And I was like, yes, like, my eyebrows are coming together. Like, everything's going good. And then, so, like, I'm like, oh my god, do I really want to, like, do this? Like, I just, like, waited 3 years for my eyebrows to get grown out, like, how they were. So I was like, okay. And I was sitting there in the waiting room waiting. And I'm like, what the fuck am I getting myself into? Like, what am I doing? Like, you know? So, like, basically, okay, yeah, I'm gonna leave, like, before I even got my eyebrows done. I'm gonna leave a before picture, like, here. Okay. And so, you saw how, like, they weren't, like, bad. Like, they looked natural. Like, they were just okay. Like, they were okay. Like, they weren't the best, like, because they weren't fully grown out. And I was, like, still gonna wait and, like, let them grow out more. And so, time comes, I'm like sitting there, and that, like, she starts like measuring like where my eyebrows are supposed to go. Like, she gets like this measuring thing, like, and it comes to here, and then like here, all this other bullshit. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, okay, like, let's do this. Like, she's probably doing good, you know. I'm like, she probably sculpted my eyebrows out good. Like, it's about to come all together, and like my eyebrows are finally gonna look natural. Like, you know, because I seen them like on Instagram. Like, when I used to have Instagram, I would see it all down my timeline, like girls with their eyebrows done, like microbladed and stuff, and they would look natural. They wouldn't look like this. They would look natural as fuck. And so I was sitting there, and I looked at my sister, because my sister was there too. I looked at her and I was like, do they look good? Like, I whispered it to her. I was like, do they look good? And she's like, and I was like, bro. I'm like, okay, let me see the mirror. This was way before they even started doing my eyebrows. Like, they just draw like along it to like see where to do like the outlining and stuff. And so she gives me the mirror, Tell me why my eyebrows literally look like this. Like they were drawn right here, but then they stopped right there, and then they went up. And like this bitch literally tried drawing my eyebrows a square like that. Like I was like, what the fuck is wrong with my eyebrows? Like I'm not gonna have my eyebrows look like this. Like no. Like what are you doing? Like what the fuck? This like the main lady. Let me remind you. Okay, the girl who was sculpting my eyebrows and everything, she was a student. She wasn't like ready yet. Like she was just like basically practicing on me. So I guess. Anyways, and the main lady comes in, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, bro, like I don't know how to say it in a nice way that like you fucking like my eyebrows. Okay, so like this, like the main girl comes in and she looks at me, and she knows that I'm like, bro, no, this ain't it. This is not it. And so she's like looking at me, and she's like, let me see a picture of how you do your eyebrows. And I showed her, and I was like, look, this is how I do them. And she like saw that, like how I like them. And so she tells the girl, she's like, she looks at me and she looks at the student, and she's like, usually when a girl's that good at her eyebrows, I will let them draw on, like, not draw, but like outline them, because like they know where they want it. And the girl's like, okay. So the main lady literally gets a Q-tip and starts rubbing off the fucking shit that the girl like drawed. And so I started drawing on my own eyebrows, like basically, but like with a pencil. I've never done it with a pencil. Just letting you guys know that I have never done my eyebrows with a pencil. I do that shit with the Anastasia dip brow. Okay, that like no, I don't do pencil. Don't do pencil on these babies. And like, it was just so weird. It was more like so complicated. Cause like I was sitting there and I like did a pretty good job. Like I'll leave a picture too right here of like how I stenciled out my eyebrows. Like they look thick in the picture, cause like it was just really difficult to draw them on with a pencil. Okay. And so when I draw them on, she was like, okay, like that looks good. Okay. Anyways, so they started microblading my eyebrows, and like that shit fucking hurt. I'm not kidding you guys. Like that shit hurts, and it's disgusting. Like the sound of it literally makes me cringe, because I'm like laying there, and like I have this thing on my head to like my hair, so like it doesn't get like in my face and stuff. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, like listening to the scrapes against my skin, and it's like it's cringing. Like it's literally so cringing. Like my eyebrows were numbed. Like let me remind you guys that like my eyebrows were literally numb, so it's like I couldn't feel anything, but like I can hear it, and like the fact that I could hear it was so disgusting. Like I wanted to puke, literally. Like I was laying there and I was like what the fuck is happening to my eyebrows? And then they would show me once in a while and be like, okay, is this how you want it? Like, and I'm like, can you like fix up this area? Like, you know, like I was just trying to correct them, like, because I want my eyebrows a certain way. And it was like I was probably there for like 4 hours at the most, just because I wanted my eyebrows a certain way. And so the lady was like, what the hell is wrong with this hair? Okay. Anyways, the lady stopped. Like she stopped, and she was like, okay, we've had her here long enough. Like she needs to go. Like we need to get her out of here. And she was just tired. She didn't sleep. She was like, who the fuck doesn't sleep before going in and doing a 4-hour appointment? Like, it's just irritating. And then, anyways, like, before this, like, it looked good. Like, it looked natural. Like, you could see the strokes and everything. Like, you could see all of it. And I was just like, bro, you guys are actually really good. Like, I thought it was gonna come out bad. And I was like, oh my god, you guys are so good. Like, I like it. It's really natural and da da da. Like, I was like telling them that I was like, I really like it. And then they go and put this shit on my eyebrows. They put some brown, like, nasty shit. And I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen this before. Like, I've seen all this. Like, I saw them do this on the videos on Instagram. I've seen them, like, do all this. So I'm like thinking like, okay, they're about to like, and it's gonna come out good. Like, my shit about to come out natural. But no, that is not what happened. They put it on my eyebrow. They left the excess on right here, and they like removed everything that was around it. And I'm like, so when do I take this off? And I'm like, when do I do that? Like, I want to know, like, so that, you know? And they're like, oh, you don't want to do that. Like, and I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you can't do that. You want to leave it there so that, like, it creates, like, a natural look. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they give me the mirror, and I look at myself, and I try so hard not to cry. I literally try so hard not to cry because, like, I wanted to cry. Because, like, my eyebrows are, like, my biggest insecurity. Like, that's, like, my biggest insecurity ever. Like, that's always been my insecurity. To be honest, like, that my eyebrows are, like, my main insecurity. Because they're on my face. Like, everybody looks at you. And nowadays, in this generation, like, girls that do their eyebrows, like, everybody looks at eyebrows now. Because, like, they're like, oh, like, that's just the first thing you see, okay? Like, when if you do makeup, you know what I mean. Anyway, so, I'm, like, sitting there, and I'm like, this bitch fucked up my eyebrows. She fucked up my eyebrows. And I, like, sat there, and I was mad. Like, I was heated. Like, I was mad as hell. Like, I was so mad. Like, I was like, you did not just fuck up my eyebrows. You did not just do that. So we go to the Galleria. And if you live in Sac, like, if you live in Sacramento, you know what the Galleria is. It's a mall. It's a big old mall out in Roseville. And so, like, we're walking around, and I'm like, in the car, on the car ride over there to the Galleria. I was sitting there, and I was like, I was ranting, because I was like, bro, she did not just fuck up my eyebrows. Like, this is not it. Like, I look like a white girl who doesn't know how to do her eyebrows and stuff. Like, I look bad. Like, I literally started crying, because I was like, bro, I can't do this. Like, I don't want to leave my house. I don't want to go to the mall. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go. I was like, no, like, take me home. I'm not going out looking like this. And I ended up going to the Galleria. Because my sister was like, I'll just get you McDonald's. Like, are you hungry? And I'm like, yeah. And so, like, when I'm sad or mad or whatever, I stress eat. I go to McDonald's and I order myself 2 cheeseburgers and McChicken. I will sit there and I will cry. I don't care who the fuck is looking at me. I will cry and eat my food. Because that's how I cope with it sometimes. And so we go to the Galleria, we go to the McDonald's in the food court, and I'm like ordering my food, and I'm like, you can hear the cracks in my voice when I'm ordering. I'm like, can I get a cheeseburger? Like, I'm like, and then like the guy is just like looking at me, and I'm like, I know what you're looking at. It's my fucking eyebrows. And so like I'm sitting there and I'm eating, and I start crying. Like, I started bawling like really bad. And I'm like, cause like, come on, man. And when we get home, I call my sister, my other sister. I call her, I'm like, dude, my eyebrows are so messed up. And she's like, what? I was like, my eyebrows, they're so messed up. Like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like crying, because I'm like telling her, I'm like, I'm really insecure about my eyebrows, and you know that. And she's like, bro, you need to chill. And I'm like, no, like, it's not it. And I even posted a video on Snapchat, like, of my eyebrows while I was at the mall. Like, I'll try to put it on here. And so when I uploaded that video to Snapchat, my sister's ex like called me, because I'm really close to her ex. And so she calls me, she's like, Nat, what's wrong with your eyebrows? I started bawling, because like I'm like getting called out for my eyebrows now again. And it's like, what the hell? And so like I started crying. I'm like, you don't understand, like, it's my biggest insecurity. Like, they messed up on my eyebrows. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And so I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I don't I'm done. Like, I'm gonna take off this excess. Like, I don't care what they said. Like, they told me to keep it on. I'm like, no. Like, I don't care. I don't want my eyebrows looking like this. Like, I don't. Like, I'm probably not even gonna go back and do a touch-up, to be honest. Like, if I do, then, I don't know. My thing was, like, I'm probably gonna go back once to just get a touch-up and see how they come out again. And if they come out better. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to. Like, I really don't want to. But anyways, I was like really sad. I was really sad about my eyebrows and just wasn't it. So I went to the bathroom and I got a wipe. I wiped off the excess. I was like, fuck this. Nope. And they were like, you can't put makeup on, you can't do this, like you can't put makeup on your eyebrows, all this shit. I'm like, bro, I'm not walking around looking like this. I'm not. It's not it. Like, it's not it at all. So, I got my fucking makeup. I got my concealer, and I concealed my eyebrows underneath. And I, like, looked at my eyebrows, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm about to make them even. Like, I'm gonna make them even with my fucking dipper. I don't care. Just, like, look at this one right here. It's, like, really skinny and long. And then when you come and look at this one, it's, like, thick and, like, round. And it's, like... And, like, this one here, they pushed this eyebrow back. Like, I don't know if you can really see it. No, you can't. But I have, like, a little pimple right here. And, like, that's where my eyebrow hair was. And they plucked it all off. And the girl even told her, don't pluck her eyebrows. Like, the fucking teacher told her, don't pluck her eyebrows. Like, they're good. Just leave them. But she went and fucking plucked them anyways. And I was really mad. It's like, what the fuck? So yeah, I'm stuck with these for like 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know what to do because I look fucking stupid. I hate my life. I really do. Anyways, that is it for my channel. I hate my life. I keep saying that. That is it for my video for today.
When you think about growing food, it takes a lot of energy to produce food to feed people. So Farms is a nonprofit farm education center. Somebody helps us to